to expose the biggest scammer who has scammed Africans more than £1 million. This man in question, his name is Paul Pyrus. He is a Filipino who lives in the UK. This man has destroyed thousands of African people's lives through his scam. Nana, can you please confirm how much Paul Pyrus scammed you?
It's 81,000 pounds.
£81,000.
Yes.
Okay. And how did he scam you £81,000?
Yes, that is how he operates. Before knowing him, he was working with a legitimate company, and this company were recruiting from Africa. With, I mean, they will tell you visa processing. I mean, they'll take you through the employment process. Then after that, they will charge you for their work, which he was part of the company. But unfortunately, nobody knows what happened to the company. It got closed. And this guy contacted me because I had a friend who was recruited by that company. But before then, he wanted me to check if the company was legitimate. So I had to call the company. I called them. Then this guy followed up later when their company was being closed down. That their company was going to close down. And they are going to open a similar one that they will be doing the same sort of job. So that is how I got in contact with him. Initially, he would tell you, you get you the employers or sponsors. So he will arrange meetings. First of all, he will just connect the applicants to the employers. Then they will do Zoom meetings and interviews. But before you go for the interview, you have to pay half of the money that they are charging. Then after paying the half of the money, then when offer letters and everything, offer letters is ready, then you pay the remainder, then you get your COS. So a lot of our Africans were interested in it. So that's how come I introduced them to him. And then he did the interviews, they did the interviews with some of these companies through Zoom, and then some got offer letters. So after they've gotten the offer letters, then he demanded for those who have gotten the offer letters. So we have to make full payment to those individuals who had the offer letter. And after that, no, I mean, sponsorship, what the COS, no COS, nothing. You call him, oh, I'm contacting the employers here. They have a technical issue. So they will sort it out and issue them the COS so that your people can apply to come here. And as I speak with you now, none, not even a single COS had been issued by those so-called employers.
The
And
saddest part is that
yeah,
Paul Pyrus and his companies, they are still out there using
yes,
different companies, setting up different companies and
companies,
scamming many more Africans.
Africans.
You can hold this man to account for his actions by giving this video a like, share this video. If you know anyone that is dealing with any company that is linked to Paul Pyrus, tell them to stop. This
Yes,
is a well organized scam. From what we have been able to investigate, they will go take you to recruitment shows, as you can see in
yes,
London, pay for expensive hotel, make
mm,
it look like this is a well organized company, whereas this is a scam. Don't forget to share this video and like it. We must bring Paul Pyros to account for his action. So, Nana, at what stage did you decide to give him the £81,000?
before it was not one person, so there are a lot of people. So before the interview, as you said, you organize it, find the so-called employers, then they will send them interview invitation, and then they will do the interview. So before the interview, they'll take half of the money. After the interview, job offer is given, then you pay them. That is what they are doing. So gradually, we will cut because the people are many. you give them their money, those who have given you the money. So you just give it to them. Some through the bank, some had to go to his own house. What he did, I mean, you wouldn't even think he was a scammer. He would invite you to his house and even give you a proof of address. So he acted as if he was a genuine person. That's how he operates. And a word of caution, he's not doing it only in the UK. He's claiming to be recruiting to Canada, US, Luxembourg, and other European. So you have to be careful. You
The,
have to be careful.
the face you are seeing on this thumbnail is the face of Paul Pyrus, a Filipino national who lives in the UK who have scammed Africans more than £1 million. This guy and his cronies, they are out there coming out with different companies to scam Africans. You could be the next victim. You can show appreciation and stop somebody by falling for this guy by giving this video a like, share this video. Paul Pyrus must be held accountable. What happened when you gave him after you? Where did you give him when you gave him the 81,000? What happened?
He has been hide and seek, back and forth, and he has even vacated his place. So I used to go to his house for the money, and he'll be telling, "Oh, I'm collecting the money from the employer. You know, I gave the money to the employer. I'm collecting it. Oh, give me 1 minute. Oh, my bank account has been blocked, has been closed. Blah blah blah." I've been, sometimes he even gave me something like he was attacked by some individuals. They set him up to take some money from him. I had a whole lot of excuses, and since they have not set eye on this guy, I contacted the police because he lives in Enfield, and I believe he's still living there. So the Kent police took over, and as I'm speaking, they are investigating him, but they've not come out with any, update. So he's a proper scammer. That is what I can describe him.
So, when was the last time you spoke with Paul Pyrus?
I think it was last year around August. And since then, it has been a WhatsApp chat. When you call him, I'll call you. That's what he said. Oh, in a minute, give me 1 minute, I'll call you. He will never call. He can only test through WhatsApp. And apparently, he has changed. I don't know whether he has changed his phone, but his number is active. But the same WhatsApp number he used, you can't contact him via WhatsApp. By direct call, it will go by. He wouldn't answer. He will just send you a text message that he's going to call you within the next few minutes, but he wouldn't. So one thing, and when I went to the house, the next door neighbor asked whether he's owing, and I said yes. Then she said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear this. You are not the only one. A lot of people have been coming to his property to collect their monies, but he had vacated the place, but he lived around because he's got kids, he's got children, I think 2 children. So they are because of the school, I think they live around his area, but he couldn't show us exactly where he's moved to. But I believe he lives in Enfield, still lives in Enfield.
Okay, this is a well sophisticated and organized criminal syndicate. The saddest part is that the company that Paul is using to scam Africans, which is World Care Limited, that
Mm.
company, I have checked that company. He's not one of the directors. So these guys, they know what they are doing. They are coming up with new companies every day. If you are dealing with Paul Pyrus, you are doing so at your own risk. This man is a scammer. When you go on Facebook, you type his name on Facebook, the first thing you will see on Facebook is that Paul Pyrus is a scammer. It is well written on Facebook. Do not do any business with this guy because the guy is scamming Africans. More than £1 million have been scammed by Paul Pyrus. Nana, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. More than 1 million pounds have been scammed Africans by Paul Pyros because of their scam network. Don't give any money to this guy because he is scamming Africans. That is what he is doing. Now, so when was the last time you spoke with this guy?
I think in August. That's it. And even was it during Christmas time? I tried it and it wasn't going through. But I think after the Christmas, it went through. The call went through. But he hasn't, spoken back to me. And when you tell him, I mean, the same excuse, meaning, and I don't think it is only the wife and him. No, I think it's a cartel. So they've got a group. So it might not even go directly to him, but they've got others who they work together. So what I can say on top of what my brother has just said, don't ever, because I've been a victim, don't ever give money to anyone for assisting you for whatever job or to travel or whatever. Don't ever do it. There are scammers in UK. It's not only him, a group of people. So if you give your money, you give it at your own risk. They are still doing it because they are saying that UK police do not involve themselves when it comes to monies and stuff like that. And that is why they've got the energy to, do the scamming.
Okay.
So
You can stop the next victim by sharing this video, liking it, so that the next person will not fall for pirate. With
yeah,
your help and support, we can bring this man to justice. Make sure you give this video a like, share this video with anyone. Make sure you do not deal with all pirates who are scam Africans more